everyone, welcome to HW News. Intrigued by the title of the video? Well, let's start with the video and tell you what exactly it is about. Since last year, India has got a new player who is consistently scoring centuries despite not even being in the playing 11. If you haven't already guessed, I am talking about the prices of petrol and diesel. After petrol prices crossed 100 rupees last year, now the prices of diesel crossed the 100 rupees per litre mark for the first time in the country. As of today, both petrol and diesel prices have touched fresh record highs across the country. In the national capital, the petrol price rose 28 paise, while that of diesel inched up 26 paise. Following the latest price revision, petrol in Delhi is now retailing at 97.50 rupees a litre, while diesel is selling at 88.23 rupees a litre. In the financial capital Mumbai, petrol price now stands at 103.63 rupees, while diesel costs 95.72 rupees. As per the data available on Indian Oil Corporation's website, this is what the prices of petrol and diesel are. This marks the 12th price rise in the auto fuel prices so far in the month of June. But hold on, we still have 8 more days to go for the end of June because last month we had revision in petrol and diesel prices 16 times. Now time for a fun fact. For a period of 18 days between April and May, the oil marketing companies put a stop on price hike. In this period, they had not changed the prices at all. This unexplained freeze in rate revision had hit a pause button after cutting the prices marginally on April 15th. This incidentally coincided with peak electioneering in 5 states where assembly elections were being held, including the high-stakes state of West Bengal. No sooner had voting ended, oil companies indicated an impending increase in retail prices in view of firming trends in the international oil markets. According to the experts, despite the second wave and lockdown in various states of India denting the demand, crude oil prices in the international market have risen primarily on account of strong US demand recovery and a weak dollar. Now, according to the experts, despite the second wave and lockdowns in various states of India denting the demand, crude oil prices in the international market have risen primarily on account of strong US demand recovery. The rising fuel prices have also had a ripple effect on the prices of goods, whether it is vegetables, oil, transport fares. The common man is feeling the pinch of the hike in fuel price. In the last month, that is the month of May, wholesale price-based inflation hit an all-time high of 12.49%. This is the 5th straight month of an uptick in WPI inflation. On the other hand, retail inflation rose to 6.3%. The inflation is at a 6-month high and above the upper band of RBI's target range. More importantly, the core inflation, which excludes the volatile components of food and fuel prices from the basket of commodities tracking headline inflation, has risen to almost 7-year high at 6.6%. This has surely sounded an alarm bell, at least for the RBI. The government, as always, is full of explanations and justifications. For example, this is what Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan said when he was asked about the fuel prices. He said, rising petrol and diesel prices cannot be brought down because the government is saving money for the welfare schemes. Pradhan accepted that continuous increase in the fuel prices has become problematic for the common man, but he said that it cannot be brought down. He said that the government is spending 1 lakh crore rupees on providing free food grains to the poor this year, and besides that, the centre has also spent 35,000 crore rupees on vaccines and healthcare infrastructure. So because the government is spending money, again, the money that the government is spending is public money. So because they are spending our money, the public money, on health and free food grain, etc., they cannot bring down the prices of petrol or diesel, which are eventually being paid for from the common man's pocket. Already, due to coronavirus pandemic, crores of families in the country have been hit. Unemployment rates have increased and household income has gone down. Savings of the common man are depleted. On top of this now, the common man is reeling under the burden of rising petrol and diesel prices. The government seems to be least bothered about it. And why would it be if your burden, common man's burden, is a source of income for the government? According to a report in Dainik Bhaskar, for the first time, the government has earned more revenue from tax on petrol and diesel than income tax. According to the data, people paid 4.69 lakh crore rupees as income tax, while excise duty and VAT on petrol and diesel paid amounted to more than 5.25 lakh crore rupees. At the same time, companies paid the lowest corporate tax of 4.57 lakh crore rupees during this period. In addition to excise and VAT on petrol and diesel, there are more than half a dozen taxes, duties and cesses which are different from this. In the financial year 2020-2021, the government got 5.25 lakh crore rupees tax from the sale of petroleum product. This includes excise duty collected by the central government and VAT of the states. Now, VAT figures are for December only, that is, the income earned by the states in the March quarter is not yet included in this data. The revenue earned through tax on petrol and diesel has more than doubled in the last 7 years, and it is 25% more than what the government earned in the previous year. As I said, expensive fuel leads to inflation. This affects the disposable income of the people. Private demand is declining, and this cannot be met by government demand. Experts have been advising the government to increase the collection from direct taxes and reduce the tax on petrol and diesel. But so far, the government has given no indication that this issue is on its top priority list. Now, here is one interesting thought to consider about this. And before that, I would like to request you all, please, if you like our journalism, please do subscribe to our channel, like this video and comment below this. And if you're watching this video on Facebook, please do like our page and share this video to as many people as possible. Now let me begin with the interesting part of the story. There are multiple factors that affect petrol price. Crude oil and the exchange rate for the US dollar against the rupee are among them. Let us first talk about crude oil. India imports about 82% of the required crude oil for its petroleum products. The top two biggest oil suppliers to India currently are Iraq and the US, followed by Saudi Arabia. It was earlier this year that US overtook Saudi Arabia as India's second biggest crude oil supplier. Now, how did US leave behind Saudi Arabia? I'll elaborate. As the pandemic struck the world, virtually all of it went into a lockdown. It triggered the fear of crashing of crude oil prices because supply was more than the demand. So the OPEC Plus Alliance, which is a group consisting of some of the world's most powerful oil producers, decided to cut the supply. On top of that, OPEC kingpin Saudi Arabia voluntarily added an additional 1 million barrels per day to those cuts. As on last month, the OPEC Plus has begun easing of these curbs. But in the meanwhile, refiners boosted cheaper US crude purchases to record levels to offset the OPEC Plus supply cuts. Now let's talk about the currency exchange rate. Oil is purchased in dollars. India pays in rupees. A stronger dollar means India will now have to pay more for the same amount of oil, even if the price doesn't change in the international market. A stronger dollar means it gets more expensive to pay for oil in rupees. So, higher the value of the dollar, the more the importers have to pay for crude oil or for any commodity. Today, the Indian rupee depreciated 27 paise to close at 74.37 rupees against the US dollar on Tuesday, in its second straight day of losses following a stronger dollar overseas. So at this time, we have strong dollar and high crude oil prices which are driving the purchasing cost up and impacting the soaring fuel prices in India. Now let us come to what I mentioned in the title, the bad foreign policy and how it is impacting you. Until 2018, Iran was India's third largest source of crude oil import and accounted for around 10% of India's total oil import. Iran had also agreed to accept payments in Indian rupees to settle its sales to India. It also offered Indian refiners a 60-day credit period on oil sales. But in 2019, giving into the US pressure, India completely stopped the import of oil from Iran. Caught in the middle of a conflict between the US and Iran, India finally gave in to US's stern warning. While India compromised both one of its key fuel import source and also the Chabahar port project, what did the US do? After the change in the government last year, the US under President Joe Biden revoked Trump government's decision in February. However, India has yet not resumed oil purchases from Iran. Imagine if India had then not given in to the Trump administration's pressure and continued its deal with Iran. Could we have taken care of at least one factor affecting the fuel price rise? Possibly yes. Our second biggest oil supplier currently is now US. And the stronger the dollar, more the money India has to shell out to purchase the fuel. So as of now, the people may not get any respite from the high fuel prices. To sum it all up, this video was an attempt to show how one foreign policy decision of the Modi government has probably contributed to the problem of fuel price rise that is pinching the common man today. How the policy decisions taken at a higher level eventually trickle down to the lowest common denominator and affect them. Do let us know what you think about this in the comment box below. For more news and updates, you can log on to www.hwnews.in.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.